the people that love you the most, they want you to succeed, but sometimes they don't know how to speak about you. Like they don't
Yeah.
know exactly what you do or they don't know how to help you. So you just got to give them those nuggets of how to help you.
Welcome back to another mini episode. Our topic for today is a very interesting topic. Why don't you break it down for us, Mandy?
Okay, Mani. I know you and I talk about this a lot offline, and I get this question so many times with my coaching clients or just with people in general. How are you finding business? So instead of the boring ways of how are you finding business, I thought it'd be fun if you and I just ping pong back and forth to talk about some of the non traditional ways you and I have looked for business or have found business within our own business adventures.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's have you start off and we'll see where it takes us because this could go a myriad of ways.
Yeah. Well, I think my first one, this isn't non traditional. I mean, the story is non traditional, but this is very common. Keep your antenna up. Business is everywhere, right? So I love to tell the story about how I was watching Patty Stanger on the $1 Million Matchmaker, and there was a girl that she was qualifying there, and she said her name and that she was a meeting planner in Orange County. So I Googled name meeting planner Orange County. I found the company that she worked for. I called her 13 times over the course of several months. She finally picked up the phone and I said, my name's Mandy Graziano. I want to book your meetings, but first I have to know about the date.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she was like, "What? Like the date?" We went back and forth talking about this date. And then she's like, "Why are you calling again?" I told her. She said so many creeps had tracked her down after that being on the $1 Million Maker show, but not one person had reached out to her for business. So why not? So she gave me her meeting, and I've been working with that business ever since. This was a long time ago. She's not with the business anymore. She's a CEO of her house, taking care of her family. But had I never kept my antenna up, saw the name, did the Google, and called 13 times, I wouldn't have gotten a new client. And I think so many times we're somewhere, we're on a subway, we're in a waiting room somewhere, we're eavesdropping, we hear things, but I think we got to take that extra step of registering it and then taking the action of placing the call or sending the email. And when it comes to like a unusual circumstance like that, you can't just do it once. You got to call and email and comment on posts, and you just got to keep pushing for it. So I think business is everywhere. You just got to keep your antenna up.
Mm, that's a great story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
What about
wow.
you? What's an unusual way you found business?
Huh. I'm thinking of now. You can tell me if you think this is traditional or non-traditional, like by doing free webinars about something related to the music business, and people who attend then might want to talk and set up a free call. That would be one.
I
And
love that. Tell us about like what was your structure? How did you do it? How did you promote it? I
yeah,
love that.
advertise the webinar on like meetup.com and Eventbrite. Then you actually host a webinar. People will show up. Maybe they attend. Then I do it weekly. I try to do it weekly pending travel. And then people will attend. And then eventually they might want to set up a call. And then maybe they want to hire or work with you. That's one way.
And
It's a
how many
non-traditional way.
how many calls do you set up after like a normal webinar? Like, is it like 2 or 3? Like, what's the response ratio on that?
1 to 2.
That's
And
great.
right now I'm working through getting more consistent attendance to the webinar because it can be very up and down.
Yeah.
I got a lead from, well, I guess this is traditional. It was the wife of one of my improv team members. And he
Mhm.
heard me talking about the music business. He said, "Oh, you need to talk to my wife."
Mhm.
And so I worked with her. That was pretty different. Once again, antennas were up. Well, I was just
Yeah.
speaking, and he was like, "Oh, you need to talk to her." So that's a good, very good one. Just saw
Yeah.
them this weekend. Okay, those are two for me. How about for you?
I think another one is I think we are all so afraid to ask for help from our friends and family, the people that love us the most. But one of the ways I got a couple long-term customers is I send an email and the subject line says, "What the heck does Mandi Graziano do anyways?" And in the email, it's very clear. Here's what I do. Here's how I need help. If you come across a person with this title or that does this, would you be willing to send me their name or do an introduction? And if so, I'll be forever indebted to you and consider me forever high fiving you. And how can I help you? How can I support you? Like in the spirit of reciprocity, how can I lift you up? I think a lot of times we ask for things, but we never offer anything in exchange. But I think people are afraid to ask their
Yeah.
friends and family. And,
Right.
you know, I have a great story. One of those emails that went out like 16 years ago, I sent it out. My sister sent it to her old place of employment. That person sent it to an organization that they're a part of. That person then emailed me and said, "My boss does this retreat and he needs some help. Here's the person that plans it." I called that person out of the blue. That person and I've been doing meetings together for years and years. And now I do meetings for her and her husband. And she's introduced me to 8 different people within her organization. So I think we think like it's about that one transaction, but you don't know like what that one transaction can lead to. But it all starts with making that effort. And that email, like, what the heck does Amani Roberts do, anyways? Clear about what you want and asking for something. I think we gotta, the people that love you the most,
Yeah. Yeah.
they want you to succeed, but sometimes they don't know how to speak about you. Like they don't
Yeah.
know exactly what you do or they don't know how to help you. So you just got to give them those nuggets of how to help you.
Okay. I like that. That's
Yeah.
good. Um, Another one I like is kind of under the radar is just attending conferences. You
Hmm.
know, when you go to conferences and you're talking to people, you never know who they can connect you with. I think that's gonna take it for granted. So that's
Yeah.
another one that I like. Actually
Love
going to
that.
a conference in Denver on Thursday and Friday.
Hmm.
You know, that's an interesting one I'm going to. So we'll see. Um, what
And
else?
how are you determining what conferences to go to? Like,
Okay.
are you going for education? Are you going for business growth? Like, well, how do you determine that?
So this one is like let me read you it's like the music. Hold on.
Okay.
Music and Entertainment Industry Educators Association.
Oh,
So that's
awesome.
the conference. You know,
That's
they're
you.
looking for a
That's you.
full-time professor position. So,
Hmm.
and there's some people there that are in certain universities where I might have applied to.
Cool.
And I have a couple of colleagues that I've met via virtual that I've never met in person. So I want to go and like meet them too and develop more relationships because if they know you, you'll hear about jobs and things before they get posted and sharing. So, and then I'll submit my research for presentation to them next year.
Mm.
So this is one that popped up that I had my eye on, and because my plans changed this week, I can go. Another one I'll go to WeCon just because MPI and that, but I got a really big lead last year at WeCon for my coaching. So that was phenomenal.
Awesome.
And then those are probably the two biggest ones this year. And I might go to another music business one later, but those are kind of my two for the time being. And then of course I go to WEC because I do my work there and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So those are some others there. How about
I
you?
like that. Conferences are great. I just think we have to have intention for the conferences. Like you either go to a conference just to learn, and not that it doesn't matter who you meet, but you're going for your own personal input and enrichment. You're always going to inevitably network, right? Or you're going for business development. If you're going for business development, it's just, I'm a big advocate of having a plan, right? Like, what's your pre conference, during conference, post conference plan? Who do you want to meet? Have you practiced your produce IO pitch? Like, do you know what you're going to say if somebody's like, what do you do and how do you do it? Like, just, I think having an intention when you're going into the conference is really, really, really important. In fact, I'm giving a whole keynote speech about that level of networking at Destination West in April and in Colorado too, because
Nice.
it's half meeting planners and half hotel people, and everybody, it's the first thing they're going to see, and then they get to go and network from there.
Yeah.
But I think just being intentional about that networking is a conference for sure.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You're dropping some nuggets here, so that's good.
Nuggets. Yeah. Well, the last one I think is a mutual one that you and I both subscribe to that I would love to see more people involved with. And this is having a clear visibility strategy. So, like you're doing that with your webinars. You and I are doing this with our podcast. With podcasts, you and I have seen the numbers. Like more than half of the people in the United States are listening to podcasts. So if a podcast is not currently involved in your business strategy, it has to, right? So it's either listen to one, so you have something to share, be a guest
Yeah.
on one, create
Yeah.
your own, or advertise on one. And I think shifting marketing dollars from traditional magazines and billboards and ads and really making sure you have podcasts in the mix of your marketing budget is really important. So visibility strategy, including podcasts in some way, visibility strategy, including being on a platform, whether that's LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever that is. But I think visibility is important. Being on a panel, like when you're
Yes.
going to these conferences, just getting on a panel, the more people see you, the more they know you, the more they trust you, the more they like you. People buy from people they trust. So I just think like really thinking about what your visibility strategy is a non-traditional way. It's going to continue to become more traditional, but for now it's not traditional.
I think when you're on a podcast and you have a specific call to action, like set up a call with me, download my ebook or whatever, podcast guesting is completely underrated, which I'm doing a lot of, and then hosting a podcast. So those are two great ones that we've both seen results from. So that's a good kind of final one to end out. Now, if you're watching or listening and you have something to add to our list, please shoot us a comment, leave us a note. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend who might benefit. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And with that, we thank you for watching our mini episode, and we will see you next week for more gems.
Gems and nuggets. Gems and nuggets. See you soon.
Yeah. See you soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to Adventures in Business. Don't forget to rate and review our podcast on the platform that you're currently listening it on. And don't forget to share it with your friends and anybody that might be as much of the business nerds as Amani and I are. See you next time for another captivating interview.